All right, so what you're going to learn today is what freelancing is and how you can get started, where to find foreign clients and companies that will pay you in top dollars, how to position yourself as a Nigerian freelancer to attract international clients, how to choose a profitable skill to sell as a freelancer, how to choose what niche to work in as a freelancer, right? So these are the kind of things I'm going to be teaching you guys today if you stay with me until the end of this class. Now, like I was saying earlier, let's proceed. What makes this different is that you're learning from someone who has done this, right? So before we get started, I'd love to introduce myself. So my name is Walter Aina. I'm a top-rated plus freelance copywriter. I've done over 7 figures as a freelancer. I've mentored over 400 plus students. Actually, the seminar should be like 600 plus students that have correctly made over $250,000 in 7 months from freelancing with my teachings. And I'm also a client acquisition expert. So for those of you who don't know what a client acquisition expert is, it's basically someone who is actually really good at getting clients or getting people to work with them, whether it's people you've heard of before or people who you've not heard of before, whether it's warm leads or cold leads, right? Someone who has heard of you before, it's kind of like a warm lead, and someone who hasn't heard of who you haven't heard of, who hasn't heard or had any prior contact with you is a cold lead. And these are the kind of stuff I mainly do, and this is why I'm able to actually impact it on my students and the rest of that for us to get this kind of amazing results in just 7 months, okay? So here's how it all began. Now, before I was any of these things, before I made 7 figures, before I did anything, back in 2018, that was 4 years ago, I was actually living in a mud house back in 2018. I was working with low-paying Nigerian clients, and at this time, I was just starting freelancing. I just dropped out of the University of Calabar, and I was being underpaid, right? I was getting paid 10,000 naira per month. I was working with 3 clients and I was getting paid 10,000 naira per month. Like, I think that's the most stressful thing I've ever done as a freelancer, because basically for this 10,000 naira per month, that was like 30K a month I was making with 3 clients. I was handling their Twitter, handling their Facebook, posting on Facebook, coming up with their products captions, coming up with their product descriptions. Well, I was doing everything, writing their adverts and writing their posts and the rest of that, right? I was doing all of this and I was getting paid 10,000 naira per month. So basically this payment was like 5K every 2 weeks. And it was so much work for me to do for 3 people. And pretty soon after that, I burnt out. I was a struggling copywriter then. And I had to think, oh, there had to be a better way. Like, there definitely had to be a better way for me to do this. And that's when I thought to myself, I was like, because before I got into freelancing, I learned that there were high paying skills that you could offer to people in the US, Canada, New Zealand, and the rest of that. And they get to pay you well, right? Because if you're trying to tell someone here now to pay you 100,000 naira, it's way, way different from trying to tell someone who is outside here to pay you $500 or $1,000. And $500 as today's exchange rate is about, that should be like, I think 200, that should be like almost 290,000 naira. Let's do the math, okay? Let's just do the math quickly. Okay, that should be like 270,000 naira, right? Let's see. So 500 times 575, if you have a good exchange rate, it's 575, you get your money in. That's 287,500, right? But you see, it's so much easier to demand for $500 than it is to demand from 100,000 naira from the Nigerian clients. So you want to pick your struggles, because the kind of vehicle or the kind of means you use as a freelancer will determine how much you make and how fast you can scale up to the top, or how fast you can make a lot of money. And if you're working with Nigerian clients, it's going to take you a whole lot of long time. Like I was saying, after this, I had to quit because I was burnt out. I couldn't really function well. And I had to think, okay, there has to be a way. And what I did was that I started looking for foreign clients. First of all, I went to Facebook groups and the rest of that. And I got some clients, right? I got one to write product descriptions for his e-commerce store. Basically, he was selling gaming accessories, all these keyboard, mouse, gaming pads, gaming headset and stuff, right? He was a German. And he paid me $100 for that. And I was like, wow, $100. And I would look at it, 6,000 naira for a project that took me about 3 days. I was like, oh, more, sure. Because I was earning 30,000 naira for all of those things per month. And within 1 week, the job took me 3 days to do. And the guy wired me my money. Let's just say our financial was within 5 days. I got 36K. That was really a horrible exchange rate. I didn't even know that time. I didn't even know all these things about exchange rate. I used my money 36,500. That was what $100 was when dollars was at 365 then, right? So I was like, oh, more. It was nice. I was like, this has to be good. And I continued with that. And soon over, I made $200, $300, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000. I got clients to be paying me consistently. And that's how I got to where I am today. And I'm still looking to improve. I'm going to create an agency where I'll have other freelancers working for me and the rest of that, but that's not part of what we're going to be talking about today, right? So this was me back in 2021, right? Being able to afford the lifestyle. I'm able to travel to wherever I want, where I want to be, and the rest of that. I'm able to offer buy any gadget I want and the rest of that. But I think the most important thing for me is being able to make money on demand and also being in control of my time. That's one of the most important things about being a freelancer. So you can see right here, this was me with Senator Akin Alabi. I don't know if you know him, he's a really high profile man in Nigeria. So I'm able to meet people of this, I'm able to meet Nigerian billionaires, I'm able to network with people of high caliber. And this was all thanks to me deciding to go into freelancing, but not just go into freelancing, deciding to work with foreign clients as a freelancer. That was the main thing. So I guess what I'm trying to tell you is that this works. What I'm going to be showing you guys today works, even if you don't have a skill yet, even if you've never been paying dollars before, even if this is your first venture into making money online, it works as long as you take action and do the required, right? So would you want to go through all I went through, or would you like to go through the easy way and straightforward way, right? Because basically when I first started, if I haven't paid for any course or paid for any class or paid any of my mentors to actually learn from them, I have to struggle. That was the main thing. If basically I had started with people doing everything, I wouldn't have had all these problems. And that was actually the problem. I was actually, yeah, I locked the Zoom meeting. I don't think anyone else should join. I'm recording it, right? So they'll watch the recording after. I don't want too much distractions. Let's get this done with. So you don't want to go through that long way, and that's why I'm showing you an easier path. Today you're going to learn a lot of things you've actually never thought of before. Even if you're a freelancer and you've gotten into freelancing, or maybe you're making 100K a month or 200,000 naira a month as a freelancer, you're still going to learn a lot of useful information today. Okay. Now, just before we get in, here's a glimpse of the kind of results you can get by implementing what I'll teach you today. So as you can see over here, you can see this is from Upwork and it goes contract details accepted, category content writing. Okay, are you guys hearing me? Okay, you guys can hear me. All right. So contract details, status accepted, job category, content writing, offer expires January 20. This was before, if it doesn't accept the offer, it expires then. And the main thing I'll show you guys here is the $15 per hour for 40 hours a week, right? So you're getting paid $15 per hour. I think $15 at our current exchange rate should be like 6K, 7K. I'm not doing the math with people, right? So 15 times 575, that's 8,625 naira per hour. Now look at this, it's working 40 hours per week. So 40 times this thing, 15, right? That's $600. Now, $600 times 4 times 575 is 245,000 naira every single week, working with foreign clients. So this is the thing you want to, obviously some percentage will be taken out from Upwork. So maybe you get your money as 300,000 naira or 290,000 naira, right? But still, it's still a large amount to work with foreign clients, because at the end of the month, you're making 1.something million naira. So this is not, it's not rocket science. The main thing to understand here is that it's leverage. Because if you are working with Nigerian, as a Nigerian, I look at big money, but for someone in a first world country, don't forget Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. I think it was just like last week that India took it back from us. So now we're like the second poorest country in the world if we have not taken it back. So you have to consider that, right? So this is basically a matter of leverage. If you want to make money, you have to make money in the smart way. You have to think leverage and this positioning, right? If you are earning in dollars, obviously you'll be making more money than someone earning in naira. Especially if you're earning in a steady volume, right? It just gives you so much leverage. Even a gig of $100 is 550. Over a gig of $100 is 57,000 naira, and a gig of $100, if you're a freelancer, you know, is very small. But it's still good money. So that's the leverage. That's the unfair advantage you have as a freelancer who decides to work with foreign clients. And then you can go over here, you can see Oliver, and you can just scroll down here. You can see what he said. Bro, man, I just want to say thanks for the course you taught. My elder brother earns at least 600K monthly after studying the course. Imagine a course of just 25K and the rest of that. But basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that you can get massive results by implementing what I'm going to be showing you guys today, okay? So let's continue and let's get started, okay? So the first thing we're going to be talking about is what is freelancing and how can you get started? So basically, freelancing is the act of offering a service to multiple organizations or companies. So a freelancer is someone who offers his skill or service to multiple companies, multiple organizations, and the rest of that. What this basically means is that instead of me now, my name Walter, instead of me to say I want to write for only Dangote refinery, I would say instead of working for only them and getting paid 200K a month, I would say I want to work for Dangote. I want to work for Dangote refinery. I'll work for, like, I want to write for Dangote refinery. I'll write for Golden Penny. I'll write for, what other thing can we call LG, right? I'll write for LG. I'll write for Indomie. I'm just calling Nigerian companies you are familiar with, right? So if I'm working with these 4 companies now, I'm writing for them, right? On a project basis, and I'm charging them, let's say, 200K a month or 150K a month. Remember, I'll be doing significantly less work than someone who is working a 9 to 5 for. Now, if I work with these 4 companies, I'm making like 600K a month compared to someone who is just working only a strict 9 to 5. So that's one of the biggest advantage of being a freelancer and why you should actually look towards it, okay? Now, how can you get started as a freelancer? That's quite easy. To become a freelancer, number one, you have to understand that money follows value. So if money is following value, you have to think, okay, since money follows value, that means I have to offer something of value for money to come towards me, right? Now, since we're targeting people in overseas, we're targeting what do we call them? We're targeting people in overseas, we're targeting people in Canada, New Zealand, and the rest of that, right? You have to think, what can I offer these people that would actually get them to pay me thousands of dollars? And that's when you think, that's where skills come into play, right? And now you don't want any other skill, you want a high income skill. Like, by high income skill, what I mean is that it's a skill where you have the potential to get paid thousands of dollars. And aside from thousands of dollars, it's also in high demand. And the reason why I want this is that, number one, since it's something that has a high pay, I mean, you know that, okay, if you're getting a job, you're getting paid well. Now, the second reason, the high in demand, is that you want it to be something that, oh, you're not going to start spending 300 days looking for a job. You want it something that, you know, if you put in the work, put in the effort, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you've gotten a job that's paying you, even if it's $1,000 per month. $1,000 per month is about 575,000 naira, right? So these are the things you want to, because you want to maximize your efforts. You want to make money fast. You want to put in minimal efforts and let it blow up. And that's how freelancing works for you, okay? So that being said, let's proceed now. We have to find foreign clients and companies that will pay you in dollars. Well, to find foreign clients and companies that will pay you in dollars is quite easy. First thing, you can use either freelance platforms, right? Freelance platforms are platforms where freelancers go to find jobs, and people who want to hire freelancers actually also come because to post their jobs for freelancers to work on. Now, when you think of that, right, then you know, then what the freelance platforms I can recommend to you, Upwork. I can recommend Upwork to you. I can recommend freelancer.com to you. I don't really recommend Fiverr, even though it's super popular, but it's not my thing. Fiverr's method, why it's not my thing, is that I am so big and focused on getting paid well as a Nigerian. I don't see the reason why you would, as a Nigerian, for someone from the third world country, you would say, okay, I want to work with people from the first world country. But instead of, when I work with people from the first world country, they're paying you $5, $10, $20. Makes no sense, right? $30, $50, $100. You're not making so much money. You're not using so much of your leverage that you can use. So for me personally, it doesn't make sense. I don't recommend Fiverr. It takes so much time for you to scale to the top. I'm not saying people don't make thousands of dollars on Fiverr. I know people who make thousands of dollars on Fiverr, but their structure is not just that favorable. Talk about how they burn and ban accounts and the painful process of signing up and the rest of that. So you don't want any of that, okay? So, like I said, where to find foreign clients and a company that will hire you. So you can find them on freelance platforms. Now, I've already mentioned freelance platforms, right? So the next set of places you can find them is on social media. You can find them on LinkedIn, my favorite. There's so much high-paying clients there. Like, I literally had someone who I helped close a $15,000 gig on LinkedIn, basically $3,000 per month for writing for a new startup, right? So you want to consider that. So you can find them on either LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. You can use Instagram. So I don't use Instagram because you can't be, if you want to move with speed, you have to narrow your focus. So I can't be everywhere at the time. Mainly what me I use is mainly LinkedIn. Like, LinkedIn is my top platform for finding clients. And if I want to use a freelance platform, I use Upwork, right? But there are so many ways you can do it. Clients are everywhere. Even on Reddit, there's clients there, and other social media platforms, there are clients there, okay? Now, what you want to do is you want to learn how to position yourself in front of those clients so they will hire you for the jobs and services that you are offering to them. Now, how to position yourself as a Nigerian freelancer to attract international clients? It's simple. Now, there are two ways you can position yourself, right? Number one, you can do either outbound marketing, also known as outreach. Basically, what this means is that you are going to, Fiverr has been closed to Nigerians. I don't know about that one. But anyways, Nigerians will always find a way, right? But that's aside. So how to position yourself as a Nigerian freelancer to attract international clients, right? So, and I forgot to even show you guys something earlier on, but I'll do that later, okay? Now, to position yourself as a Nigerian freelancer, the first thing you want to do is that if you want to get a job of $500, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, it's a matter of perception, right? How do these people view you? You don't have to live a fake life for them to view you as someone who is of high value. Basically, you can use what you have. But it's, like I said, the first thing you want is an outbound. You can use either outbound client acquisition system, outbound marketing, also known as outreach. So you can go on LinkedIn, you find CEOs, you find the VP, Vice President of Marketing. These are people who are decision makers. Find them, find head of marketing, head of design, depending on what skill you do, right? And I forgot, oh my God, I forgot to mention some skills, right? So let's just dive back a little bit. Now, in the part where we talked about high income skills, there are 5 high income skills I recommend, right? Because you want skills that are high paid. Now, some examples are copywriting, which is what I do, content writing, digital marketing, graphics design, UI UX design, video editing. If you can really do really good photo editing and the rest of that, and motion pictures and the rest of that, that's an amazing skill. Programming, coding, and the rest of that, those are really technical. I want something that is easy for everyone to grasp and the rest. So I'll mention these, right? So like I was saying now, so based on these skills I mentioned, how it relates to this part of the class is that when you think about these, then you know that, okay, if I'm a graphic designer, I'm not going to be targeting, I can target the CEO. CEO is for everyone to target, right? I can target co-founder, I can target founders on LinkedIn, but I'm not going to be targeting basically maybe head of sales. I want to target head of design or their lead designer in the company or any of these things for them to actually hire me, right? These are the kind of things you want. So that's one way you can use LinkedIn. Now, if you're using Upwork, basically, let me just show you guys what the Upwork platform looks like, right? So if you're using something like Upwork, by the way, I forgot to mention this, right? So let's just see how it goes. Okay. So this is how the Upwork platform is, right? So what you notice over here is simple. So you can see job offered, $800. This is scam post. Please beware if you're using Upwork. Beware of anybody that tells you them come to DM them. It's bullshit. Why would they leave their comfortable Upwork where Upwork protects their money, protects their phone, and tell you to DM them to work with them? It's bullshit. So avoid people like that. Now, professional website for travel agency company, English content writer. You can see right here, right? The estimated budget for this job is $900. So let's say you get this job, now they're going to pay you $900, and that's like 500K, right? So basically, when you see these kind of things, what you do when you come on Upwork is simple. You just, if you want to submit a proposal, there should be, where is it, right? Submit a proposal and you can submit. So this is how it works on Upwork. Alternatively, I am actually a top rated. Let me just show you guys my profile, right? So I'm a top rated plus freelancer on Upwork. And what this does for me is simple, right? You can see it over here. Now, so a little bit of insight into top rated plus. You can't get to top rated plus if you've not worked with multiple clients who have paid you over $5,000 for your work, right? And they gave you a good review. They're like, oh, well, this guy is good to work with, and you paid him a lot of money to work with him. So that's the context over it. Last year, when I was active on Upwork, I made over $15,000 in just 5 months, right? Approximately about $3,000 per month. If you convert that to Nigerian currency, that should be like 1.2 million naira every month. So you see that this has a potential for high pay. Now, so like I was saying, this thing, so you can see my top rated plus here. There's a reason I came here. I've actually forgotten what I came here for, but basically, when you want to apply on Upwork, like I said, what matters is, number one, your profile overview. How does your profile overview matter? How did you position yourself? right? These are reviews I've gotten, right? But no, that's not the point. Your portfolio, as a newbie, you probably won't get any reviews yet now. So what portfolio have you added and the rest of that? And what skills, these skills that you choose here also affect the algorithm, how Upwork shows you jobs. So when you think of all of this, your hourly rate and these are things that actually affect it. When you think about all of these things, you understand that when you come on Upwork, it's easier you see jobs and you apply to them. But there's a problem with freelance platforms for me, and I'm going to explain that to you guys now. Freelance platforms are small ponds, but alternatively, when you start sending out more proposals, getting high rank, you don't want to get high ranks. Just send out more proposals. What Upwork will do for you is simple. Upwork will start sending people, recommending your profile to other people. Now, what this does is that other people will be inviting you to come and submit posts to their job. And that makes it easier for you to get jobs, right? One thing people tend to forget when they are in the beginning stage of all of these freelancing things is that you're not going to be a beginner forever. Anytime I come on Upwork and I'm like, okay, let me just find jobs. It doesn't take me up to a week to get a job. Like I did that last week and I've made over $1,000, right? Let me just take it to my, I think my payment dashboard currently. So you just see, I have $375 pending, right? So $375, let's do the math. 375 times 575. That's 215,000 naira pending. And this client was the one that paid me this previous money. And he paid me the previous week too, right? So it's basically like a $1,200 per month client. And I just found him like 2 weeks ago. I was like, let me just send 1 or 2 proposals on Upwork. Now, the reason why this worked so easy for me, sorry about that. The reason why this worked so easy for me, guys, was because the reason why this worked so easy for me is because, number one, you can see over here. Sorry about that. I think, let me drink water. Let me give you guys, give me a minute, let me drink water. So let's just proceed. So like I was saying, the reason why this worked so easily for me, like it took me so less time, it doesn't take me up to 1 week, right? It's because, like I said earlier, I'm already a top rated plus. So I'm like high up there. So what I want you to know is that there was a time when I was a beginner and it was so hard for me. But at the level I'm at now, it's not hard for me to get a job that will pay me $1,000, right? So this is just basically what I wanted to show you guys and make it easier. So that you won't say, but I don't know anything. If you start today, start tomorrow, just make sure you start. You will get to a point where you're at my level, you won't pass my level and the rest of that, where your previous work, right? 5-star, 5-star, 5-star reviews, right? Your previous work, 5-star reviews will speak for you. That's the main thing. They will actually speak for you. Okay, so let's just proceed to our slides, right? So these are the kind of places where you can find platforms, right? So on that way, you can find freelance clients is on Facebook. You can go on Facebook groups that are related, right? If you're a graphics designer, go to groups where people need graphics designer. If you're a content writer, go to groups where people need content writers and the rest of that. And place yourself in those groups and release content. Now, this is the second part I'm supposed to tell you guys about, which is the inbound client acquisition marketing system, right? So basically, inbound is basically bringing people to your DMs, bringing people towards you. Outbound, you go out there to say, hey, CEO of XYZ company, I can do this, do that. I saw that your website doesn't have this or that. I do that for you. Let me do it for you, right? If you send like 100 people, 10 might reply. Out of 10, like 3 will work with you. If you charge them $500, you've made $1,500 that month, right? So that's outbound, that's outreach. That's the best way for me, because you don't have to start waiting for things you can't control. Now for inbound, you make valuable posts, right? So you join a group. Let's say I am a copywriter. A copywriter helps with sales, right? I make a post about how copywriting matters in their marketing campaign, how their Facebook ads won't convert if they don't use words that make people to take action. And what this does for them is that if they start saying, oh, what this guy is saying is true, this is sense, right? Stuff like that. They start saying stuff like that. And then what now happens is that they actually come into my DM or follow me on my timeline, and I continue posting. I'm like, if you want to work with me, don't post it on the group, or make sure you post it like in your timeline, and they will DM and be like, hey, I want to work with you and all of that. That too also gives you a lot of leverage, because number one, before they even DM me and be like, hey, I want to work with you, they've seen you as an expert. Seeing you as an expert means that you can get to charge them higher than the normal amount, or it doesn't even matter, higher. Like if you reach out to someone, sometimes depending on how you do it, they can tell you, okay, I'll only work with you for $1,000. But someone is reaching out to you and their budget is $1,000, you can actually negotiate it that it gets to, let's say $1,500, $2,000, right? So that's more leverage when someone is coming towards you. So how to choose a profitable skill as a freelancer? Like I said, I already told you guys, I think I already explained that. Basically, it's a high income, you have to make sure it's a high income skill. You want something that is in high demand. People are always looking for it. Now, the best way you can actually spot this is look at industries, right? What industries are always moving? Relationship industry is always moving. Love, how to get a girlfriend. My husband broke up with me, my husband divorced me. So many things, right? There are also different parts of relationship industry. That's just what I can think of currently. It's always moving. Now think of the financial industry, think of the crypto industry, right? Think of the e-commerce industry, buying and selling, people buying and selling goods and the rest. People are always in these industries. What this means is that there are millions and billions of dollars flowing in these industries every day. What this means is that there are people who are making money from it, and they want to make more money from it, and they will hire you, or they are making money from it, but they want to build a fine website. They're making money from it, but they need designs for their products. They're making money from it, but they need someone to write for their blog and stuff like that, right? So this, when you think about this, you know what niche you want. Now, after you choose the high demand and you choose the high income skill, number one, and it makes sure it's in high demand and you get the opportunity to be paid thousands of dollars, the next thing you want to do, guys, is think of the niche, right? I told you this was basically what I explained just now, which is about the industry you're choosing. Now, once you've chosen your industry, you want to make sure that the industry you're choosing, you have like an affinity for it, right? That maybe it's easier. Let's say you are in the university now and you're studying medicine and surgery. You can work in the pharmaceutical niche, you can work in the healthcare industry, right? Write drugs for people and write sales for people on ClickBank who are selling fat weight loss pills and the rest of that, because you are familiar with the science side of it, right? So that's one way you can choose affinity. But even if you don't have an affinity for any of them, find something that you know, okay, I can understand, my head will carry this one, and double down into it, okay? Nothing special, nothing for you to start racking your head up and down for, okay? So the next thing we're going to is how to choose what niche to work in as a freelancer and lots more. Or this was how to choose a skill. I always mix this up. So basically, it's always similar thing, because how to choose a skill, like I said, you want to make sure it's a high income skill. Demand, you want demand and high pay, like I already mentioned. And aside from that, you want, what do we call it? You want it to be something that is easy for you to do, and you want to consider where you are at now, right? So when I started as a freelancer, when I was staying in my mother's house and the rest of that, when I dropped out of school and I had nowhere to go, I had my Infinix Hot 5, that was the phone I had then. So that's what I started from there, was just basically copywriting, right? Because I could do it on my phone. I could just download Google Docs, I could write, I could think. I mostly write with pen and paper, right? I could easily do that. But if it was something, I just started saying I'm going to come and start doing UI, UX design, video editing, all those kind of things, because my phone wouldn't be able to take me to do or handle those things. So I didn't think of that. These are the things you want to think of where you are at now. What do you have affinity for? Do you like designs? Do you like writing? Are you an introvert? If you're an introvert like me, then writing might be actually really good. These are the kind of things you actually want to think about, guys, when you are choosing a skill. Okay. So the next you want to choose what niche to work as a freelancer, which is basically what I explained previously. Basically, your affinity for the niche, like do you like the niche? How much money is flowing through the niche? Is the industry really a hot cake? And the demand for your services in that niche, right? If you're a writer, you know that there's a demand for you all around. UI UX design, you have more demand in stuff like crypto and US, but not really in the relationship niche. Content writing, you have demand everywhere. Content writing is always in demand in everything, right? So you think you weigh those things scale by scale, and you said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Okay. So, and that's it, guys, or that's all. Wow. So that's it, guys, because I'm looking at the time right now and it's almost an hour. You agree with me that this has been a time well spent so far. So I can't cover everything up in an hour's webinar, even if we had all day. So before we go, or before I wrap it up, because you guys are going to ask me questions, I know you guys have questions, and once we are done, I would mute everything and let everyone ask the questions. Okay, before we go, here's a special offer you can get that you can get today. And if you act fast, I'm going to give you actually a special deal. So let's proceed. But before I proceed, I want you guys to know this. Don't let old habits stop you from taking advantage of that. Well, I believe those of you who have stayed to the close to the end of this class, you guys are awesome. You guys are rock stars, right? I don't even think I need to talk much about that. But basically, a lot of people are always like, can this work for me? Everything making money online is a scam, blah, 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 all those kind of things. You don't want any of those to affect you. Don't let the old habits, or maybe you tried freelancing before, but it didn't work, or stuff like that affect you, okay? And with that said, I would like to personally invite you to the high-paid freelancer premium program. So basically, this is a program where I was talking about in the beginning, where my students made over $250,000 in the past 7 months. Over 400 of them collectively made that amount. It's not one person, no. Let's say one person closes a gig of $1,000, one person closes a gig of $500, and the rest of that. And when you calculate that, it compiles up to that. And it's not just, you have to understand that freelancing is not a zero-sum game. If you close a gig of $500 today, and it's a retainer, you're getting paid $500 every month, right? And that's about 285K every month as a beginner, because that's basically what you should be earning as a beginner, as a freelancer, anywhere from $500 to $1,000 to $300, and you got $200. That's decent money. I'm going to be $200 is about, I think that should be like, as like 114K, right? These are beginner stores before you gain the confidence, because before you start charging someone $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, you have to actually be good and you have to have confidence. So basically what I was trying to say, that this was the program I was talking about, where the person was like, yeah, he makes over 600K every month from something he got to that time, right? So to help you decide if this is for you, here's what you get when you join us today as a member of the high-paid freelancer premium program, okay? So section number 1, you get the beginner-friendly Upwork Mastery course that is designed to take you from $0 to $6,000 in as short as possible, basically in 4 months. So what you get here, you get stuff like, let me just take you guys to my screen so you see. So for this, you get stuff like how to write your profile overview, right? So you can get this, and how you can scout for good jobs that will pay you a whole lot of money, right? How you can scout for good jobs that will pay you a lot of money. How to write proposals that will get you jobs, right? Because if you see something like this now, let's just find one, right? This one is professional websites for travel agencies. So this is like a web design. So you can see a budget is like $12 to $25 per hour. Obviously, this is a new job, so people haven't applied to it. But once you, there's 20 to 50 proposal. So you see that people are applying for this, right? 20 to 50 people have applied for it, right? So what is going to make you stand out from the rest? It's how you submit your proposal, and not just how you submit your proposal, but how does your proposal, when the person clicks on your proposal, read it, I'm like, okay, this guy is making sense. He or she is making sense, and I want to work with this person. And they come to your profile, and they come to your profile. What are they going to see? These are what you want to think about. What are they going to see? Right? How does your overview look? Is it enticing? How does your specialized profile look, right? Okay, you can see that, right? You can see stuff like this, simple as that, guys. So I'm going to be showing you guys how you can do this, how you can draw inspiration from that and the rest of that, all in this program. Okay, and there are so many more. There's templates for chatting with your prospects when they actually DM you, templates for submitting proposals, templates for your profile overview, how to create an Upwork account. That's actually very important, because Upwork doesn't just accept anyone, and you're going to learn how to create it, okay? Now, number 2 is the LinkedIn outbound client acquisition masterclass. So I was talking to you guys about LinkedIn. I gave you guys some insights on how you can go about it, right? You want to make sure you target the decision makers. Now, if you're targeting the decision makers, let's say you are a writer, you're targeting the CEO or head of marketing or lead writer or whatever it is, there has to be a way you reach out to them, right? There's no just one way to do it. But at the same time, there's a kind of format or a way you come to them that will actually get them to take you more seriously than just randomly saying, excuse me, ma, excuse me, sir, I want you to help me with a job. Keyword, before we even go for this, is something important. If you are interacting with foreign clients, there's no need for you to use sir and ma. It's not really a thing with them, right? They don't need any, it's only in Nigeria because we're so respect-based or stuff like that. That's why we use that. But with foreign clients, you can, if someone who is 55 years old, who you are working for, and he calls you Jake, you call him Jake, but his name is Jake, you call him Jake. it's okay with that. It's actually, they feel so much uncomfortable when you're calling them sir, man, all those kind of things. I don't know, it kind of makes them squirmish. So that's a really good tip you want to keep in mind. Okay, so these are the kind of things you actually learn when you get the LinkedIn Outbound Client Masterclass. You get templates for reaching out to people. You learn how to find clients on LinkedIn, how to utilize recruiters and get them to help to hire you, and so many other things, guys. These are the things you are actually going to get when you get in today. Now, for section number 3, Facebook client acquisition system, how to find more clients than you ever need on Facebook without spending any time. Now, all of these, I want you guys to be clear with this now. Everything you are learning today, once you get in, you're not paying an extra fee or that. Everything I'm showing you is basically an organic method to finding clients, okay? Everything, you don't need to pay any extra money. So Facebook, you're going to learn how to get clients on Facebook groups to your timeline, how to find relevant, you're going to get how to find relevant Facebook groups and a list of relevant Facebook groups. That is super important, guys, because not every Facebook group has people who are actually doing things, right? Let's say there's some Facebook groups where Yahoo boys, I don't know what they're doing here, but basically there's a lot of scammers, not just scammers, they are spammers too. That's people who just post rubbish that doesn't relate to the group. So you want to find relevant group, and a key note from finding them is number 1, they're always private groups and not really public groups, right? So they're the kind of things you want to think about. But that's not all. I wanted to make this really simple for beginners. And even if you don't have a skill, then you can still get in today. So the first thing you'll be learning, I created 5 high income skills, which you can learn. Like I've put everything together. You can learn it. It's ready as you go. Literally, if you want it in next 30 minutes, you can get it immediately, right? So it's a kick-ass copywriting course. How to write copy as a beginner that will get you more sales, clients, and money than you can ever imagine. So copywriting is what I do. So I'm the one that pioneered this course. You will learn how to write sales letters. You will learn how to craft a big idea. You will learn so many things. You learn how to craft a big idea, learn how to write sales letters. You will learn how to write emails, video sales letters, and so many of those things that have to do with copywriting, kick-ass headlines, and how to find clients as a copywriter. The next one you get is the content writing and content marketing crash course. Learn how to create and write simple content that goes viral for businesses. Now, what this does for you is quite easy, right? It helps you, excuse me. So what this does for you is quite easy. It helps you write simple content that people will pay you a ton of money for. Like, for example, now, if you go on LinkedIn, look at the top creators there, they're always writing something and the rest of that. Do you know that on LinkedIn, there are people who want to be like that, but they feel like they can't write. So when you get this, you learn how to do stuff like that, and you can approach them and write for them, right? Aside that, you can also learn how to write blog posts, emails, articles, and the rest of those things. You also learn how to create a content calendar. Basically, a content calendar is when you approach a client, instead of saying, I want to write all your tweets for you, I want to write all your things for you, say, yeah, it's how I'm going to do it for you. So on Monday, I'll post motivation. Tuesday, I'll post about your business. Wednesday, I'll post about motivation again, or stuff like that. You split it up, and that's how you write. That's how you create a content calendar to utilize it. Now, when you offer this as a free service to clients, they're blown away because it's like an extra. That's why you can also charge top tier money for it, $1,000 and above, $500 too. I have someone who is using it to make $400. What's the person that priced low? Okay, so everything is stage by stage. All right. So the next high income skill you learn is the full stack digital marketing course. Now, if you know anything about digital marketing, if you just Google digital marketing course, how much, or anybody that's trying to teach you digital marketing in Nigeria, you know that these guys are talking from 100K upwards, 200K, 50K, 250K. I've even seen some as high as 750,000 naira for a digital marketing course for just 3 months. But with this, you get everything, access to them for life. These are the things you actually want to consider. Okay, so you learn in digital marketing course, you learn YouTube ads, social media marketing, Facebook ads. I think you will learn Facebook ads, everything about digital marketing, copywriting and content marketing, email marketing. All of these things are encompassed under digital marketing. That's why it's called a full stack digital marketing course, and you get to learn them. Now, the fourth high income skill you get is the social media marketing school. How anyone can use the power of social media marketing to get clients and build businesses. Quite easy, I would say, because social media is always in high demand. All brands are trying to represent themselves on social media. You can see Kuda, you can any brand that it's not even it's like people who sell clothes, they're on social media. banks on social media, even Golden Penny, all of these small companies, all of these things, they are always on social media. So you want to learn how you can use the social media to build their businesses, and they'll pay you a whole lot of money in return for it. Then number 5, which is the last income skill for now, because in the future I'm going to add in more, is the UI/UX design course for beginners. So if you're a beginner, you want to learn how to use UI or UX, that's perfect. If you're a graphic designer and you want to transition into UI/UX design, absolutely lovely too. You learn all of that here. Now, with this knowledge at your fingertips, you can now become a modern day freelance money making machine, right? Because you know that, okay, I have high income skills, I have value. Like I said earlier, you have value to offer to people in first world countries, New Zealand, Canada, Australia, and the rest of that. So it's just basically for you to position yourself, which is what you learn in the client acquisition side, which I've already talked to you about, right? But that's not all. I actually want you guys to have full value from this. I don't want you to have any excuse. I want you to make sure you succeed with this program. So I added some extra bonuses for you. So the first bonus resource you would get is full access to the members area. So you can ask questions, get in touch with me, and have companions on your journey. So there is over 400 freelancers there. I think 500, 600 freelancers, right? That you will actually get to talk with when you get there. So if you ask questions, they either answer you or I answer you. I'm also in that group. So I'm there to answer my student questions and the rest of that. So you get full access to that. It's on WhatsApp. We also have one on Telegram, but Telegram is not so active. I don't know why, but on WhatsApp, it's super active. So you can use that, right? Now we have this free bonus resource too, which is how to get your first clients in 2 weeks or less. It's a short report and PDF that shows you what I'll do using what I love to call a self-destruct offer. It's a special mechanism to get your first clients in 2 weeks or less. That's if you already have a skill. If you don't have a skill, don't come and start jumping the bat to come and start using this method. It will backfire on you, okay? So that's it. That's the second bonus you get. Free bonus number 3 is access to periodic meetings and masterminds to help you find your feet. So once in a while, I hold some extra classes, maybe for other people, and I also hold question and answer sections for my students. And we also do what we call live copy review, which is reviewing what people have written and everything. So these are always recorded on Zoom, just like this is being recorded. And you get access to the previous ones we've already held, okay? Now, free bonus resource number 4 is closer secrets, how to close more deals by asking the right questions. Like I said, guys, I'm going to give you guys templates to chatting and how to get the best out of this, but you have to understand that when people are explaining their problem to you in the DM, then you have to understand that, okay, what is this person's problem? How can I close this deal, right? So it's not a matter of, I can do this for you. Let me work with you. That is not the main problem. You have to ask. And if you're able to ask really smart and insightful questions, and the person sees the problem that is wrong with their business, that's wrong with their sales page, that is wrong with their website, that is wrong with their designs and the rest of that, you can close more deals. And this is what this is going to show you how to do. Now, the 5th bonus resource is the $0 to $2,000 challenge. Now, what this challenge does is basically how to go from $0 to $2,000 in a month. So once you've learned your skills, you've started doing lessons, you can take this challenge. If you don't want to take it, you can still take the lessons I put in this challenge and still start using it for getting gigs, okay? So what you want to do is a challenge that takes you from $0 to $2,000, basically, like it said. So you get all the recordings from when I held this challenge last December. And it was held in last November, actually, from November to December. And people made a whole lot of money, like the amount of money people closed who reached $2,000. Some people didn't reach it. Some people just made only $400. Some people reached only $200. Everybody is different. I'm going to be honest, everybody's different. But some people made over $2,500. Some people made over $3,000. Some people made $1,000 So it's different stages for everyone. So you have to also consider that if you're a newbie, not everything is going to be super easy for you. It's going to take you a longer time. Compared to like now, you're giving me your $2,000 challenge. I will slash it easily now in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, because what's 3 weeks? 2 weeks, because I've gotten to that level, right? For someone who is still starting out, it's not going to be so easy. But basically, once you've learned, you have your skill, and you take up this challenge, I promise you, you're going to make more money than you can ever imagine possible, as long as you implement what I told you guys to do here. So the last bonus, which is 3 payment methods to receive your money. So by now you've seen me calculating money. I'm like, hey, how much to receive? $100 is 57,000 naira, 500, right? And $1,000 is 575,000 naira. This is because I have a good exchanger. I have a good exchange rate. I'm able to receive my money in and actually do this, right? If you're using shit exchange rates, you can be getting your money for 410,000 naira, for 410 naira per dollar. So imagine getting page $1,000 and you're receiving 410,000 naira. good money, I would say. But why receive 410,000 naira when you can receive 575,000 naira? Like that's about 160K cut out of your money because of the bad exchange rates. You don't want any of that. So you get payment methods for this and how you can actually utilize them. So that's it, guys. And as you can see, I've included everything you need to take your first step on a freelancer's path to earning at least $1,000 per project, without you needing much experience, without you needing a degree, without you needing to wait for years of the Nigerian job, without you needing to be the most gifted. You don't have to be super smart, or without you relying on luck. I love luck, but one of my favorite saying is that we create our own luck. I don't know if you're on my email list. I don't take any more years on my email list, but basically we create our own luck. And what I mean by this is simple. The more action you take, the more positive action, the more decisions you make towards your goal, the more you actually have the chance to be in the right place at the right time for that, so for luck to actually come and meet you. So you create your own luck by putting in the work and making the right and smart decisions, okay? So luck isn't random, don't yeah, luck is random. So please note, all these materials are in video, PDF, and recording formats. I'm the one that recorded them, and I'm the one that recorded them. So they're all in video, PDF, and the rest of that. So I can see you guys are dropping some messages. Get to it shortly, okay? So it's easy for you to consume, and you have lifetime access to them. So you can consume it at your own pace. Now let's just get to frequently asked questions, okay? Now, how much does it cost to enroll for the high-paid freelancer premium program? Well, I want to ask, how much do you think it's worth it, right? So you can see how much people who have gotten into this program are making, right? So you can see here, it says, Walter, I'm almost at $2,000. That was from the 0 to K challenge that you guys are going to get, so that held last year, right? You can see that's around 3rd November. It goes, Walter, I'm almost at $2,000. Close the deal offline through offline though, 407,000 there. And I'm working on closing 2 more gigs, basic stuff, 7,000 there, and I'm negotiating a return of 6 months, $250 per person. Now, why for me, I would say $250 per month for a return, it's okay. But if you're doing like 3 people or 4 people for $250, I'm making like $1,000, right? So 250 times 575 is 143,000 there for just basic writing, basic stuff, right? You see, this is super awesome. All for the amount they paid. And the second person is from the Listen, right? It's been stressful. I will soon be able to complete the $2,000 challenge. I've earned $1,200 so far, and I believe it will cross before the end of the year. The best part is that I have not been fully active on Upwork and LinkedIn because of exams, but I'm still able to get clients, right? So someone is writing exams, or during the period of writing exams, they've made over $1,600, right? I'm a fan of maths. I love numbers. Let's do numbers again. 1,600 times 575. 920,000 there. You can see it. I don't need to say more than that, right? And then you can see, you can see from bro, I owe you not ever since I took your advice. I've been getting lots of interviews, and I finally got a project to design a website for $1,300 today. Thank you, sir. Simple. So how much do you think would be worth to? Because you have to understand that when you get into this program, you have lifetime access to it. When you learn everything there, you get to keep the knowledge forever. Now, if you get a job at 500, I don't want to even say 1,000, $500 per month. Now, you get for like 10 months, that's over $5,000. Or for a program where you get to pay 35,000 naira only today. So $500 per month. Let's say you get the program, you get $500 per month. You're making 208 something K per month, right? Each and every month, you get to keep the knowledge and everything. So the ROI is long. Yeah, there's no how. Even if you are the laziest person that you say, okay, what you get is $500 only, you still made almost times 8 of your initial investment. Okay. So that being said, and you still get everything mentioned here. So you can use the link provided. I believe this person should have provided you guys the link, or you can use the link below. So before we get to the questions, let's just do this thing. Let's just see some more testimonials. So I want to get done with this because time is running. So let's go to the questions, right? So remember this, then don't hire Misha, $2,000 per month, design role. And you can see this one goes $250, $1,209, $1,300, $1,500, and this is all from Upwork and after that. So you guys see that there's so many things going on here, and you can see the possibility of it. Remember, like I said in the beginning, is to show you the prospects and possibilities possible as a freelancer. And this is one of my favorites here because it goes, I just got a gig of $2,600, and the client wants to make payment now. Basically, simple stuff, easy as that. Now, simply use the link below and the rest of that, right? So let's talk about frequently asked questions. So one of the questions I get asked a lot is, can I do this with my phone? Well, like I said earlier, Yes, you can, but it depends on what you're doing. If you want, you can't say you have only a phone and you want to come and start doing UI UX design. It's not going to work, or video editing. But you can do writing, you can do transcribing, you can do content writing, blog writing, article writing, and the rest of that. And the next thing is, when is this program starting, or has this started already? It's an online program that will always be available to you so long as this page is up. Anytime you get access and anytime you join, you get access to the materials and everything I've mentioned immediately. What if I have a job and I'm busy, or I'm a busy student? Can I do this on the side? Well, yes, 100% you can. But you have to dedicate at least 2 to 4 hours every day so you can see significant and fast projects, fast results from this. Okay. So that 2 to 3 hours, you can decide whatever time it is. What time do you work best? And also, you have to work mainly on project-based gigs, right? Because you can't say you are totally busy and you're taking a gig where that requires you to work like 8 hours a day or 5 hours a day, and you can't really dedicate time for it to track your time and the rest of that. So, but like I said, it's still within your control, and that's my favorite part of this thing. It's still within your control. So he goes, what if I don't have a digital skill? But that's not a problem. Currently, there are 5 high income skills you can learn in the program. We are working on adding more so you can learn that. So I just already mentioned them, which was copywriting, content writing, the full stack digital marketing course, social media marketing school, and your UI UX design. All of this, like literally any of them. Somebody who is teaching you only copywriting, guess how much you charge. But when you combine all of these things plus the client acquisition aspects, you can see that this is a steal. And obviously, it's not going to remain at the price of 35,000 naira for long. It's definitely going to increase. The next price is 50,000 naira. It's not increasing now, but it's going to increase soon. I've already made up my mind that that's going to be the next price going to be 50,000 naira. Okay. So am I going to pay for anything else? So no, you absolutely won't pay for anything else. Upon payment, you won't be able to pay for anything else. Neither will you need a startup course or anything, because you don't need a startup course. It's freelance. Everything I'm showing you guys here, it's organic and the rest of that. Now, how long until I get my first client and start making money? I could easily tell you that you can make your first client in 2 weeks and start making money, and there are so many results from that, right? But not everyone gets their first clients that fast. Well, it'll take up to 1 month or more. The only thing I can guarantee you is that if you focus on implementing ruthlessly and patiently what I've shown you guys today, and what I'll show you guys in the high page freelancer premium program, then you can get a stream of paying clients upwards of $1,000 per project, much sooner than you can actually expect. That's the guarantee I can give to you. Is this program for only copywriters? No, as you can see from the testimonials, people are from different skills I've gotten there. So you can see a designer, web designer, content writer, copywriter, and the rest of that. Graphic designers all getting gigs because they learned client acquisition from the high page freelancer premium program. And how long will I have access to this program and everything else you promised once I sign up today? You have lifetime access to everything. So you can relax and go through it at your own pace. How long will it take me to go through the program and start implementing? Usually it depends on your hunger. Usually it takes about 15 days for people to actually go through it. People who are just going through it straight. It can take you 1 month. If you're a type of person who loves to go, like I love to go through my programs or courses advice, I consume this aspect and I start taking action immediately. I don't just watch the whole thing. I consume this, take action, continue this, take action from what I've learned. So it depends, right? Do I need to go through every session of the program before I get my first client or I start making money? Actually, you don't, because it's quite simple. You can just say, okay, it's only Upwork I want to focus on, and I want to learn content writing, I want to learn copywriting. Focus on only those 2 aspects of the program, and you get a lot of results. That's basically it. You don't have to come and start consuming everything. Everything else there can be extras to you. Are you going to be the one teaching all the high income skills? Well, I teach all the high income skills, except aside from I teach all the written in the HPF Premium program, aside from the full stack digital marketing, the UI UX design, because obviously I'm a UI UX designer, and the social media marketing school. Aside from that, I'm the one that teach you everything with my face, my voice, showing you how to go about it. Will the price of this program increase anytime soon? So like I said, guys, earlier, this is going to increase time soon. And I've already before I should say I don't have a price, but I have a price in mind now. That's 50,000. As the next price is going to. But I have not decided on the date yet. So it can be next week, it can be next tomorrow, it can be today, it can be this night, or stuff like that, right? It depends. So hopefully I've been able to answer all of your questions with this. And whatever you decide, it's entirely up to you. And if you wish to join us, simply click on the link below and I will see you inside. So guys, that should be all. And now I'm going to, I think, where is that settings I use? So you guys can ask questions and the rest of that. Okay, so That should be in participants, right? Allow participants. So I've given you guys access to unmute yourself, right? So if you want, if you have a question, you can ask, but let's just go through the chat box first. All right, so oh, you guys are saying that time I was joking. I beg. Let's see. Do you guys have any questions here? You can ask your questions now. I'm trying to see if there's any question asked here I can go through. Yeah, okay. Web developer, web programmer, that's a high income skill. And I don't think anybody asked the question.
Good evening, Mr. Walter. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, no.
Please, seriously, this course is awesome.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Are you not hearing me?
Hello.
Is anyone else hearing me? The person from media.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Oh, let me just type that.
Okay. I said thanks for your time.
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for your time. I've been a graphic designer since 2004, and
that's really
I've not been using it for business like that. I just design for people for free. So I think that this is a good opportunity for me. But can you please help us, those that are present now, like give us like a percentage bonus so that we'll be able to pay? Because currently now I don't even have 5,000 in my account, so I need to source for it. So if you can just give us, okay, well, because you are here this night, and I'm going to give you maybe 20% of the money. It's just, I'm begging, please, if you can do that for us. Thank you.
I don't know if that will be possible, but let's answer other questions first. Let's see. I'll get back to that, okay?
Hello, I have a question, please.
Okay. Ask a question. Hello. I'm unmuted, right? If you don't want to say it out, you can type your question. I'll check the chat. Chat box and answer you guys.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I said I am someone that once loved writing. Okay. Along the line, I lost the passion, and I know I still have it in me, but bringing it out is quite difficult a little bit, probably because of the kind of environment or stress or work or whatever. Now, like you said, so many of us will keep doubting ourselves. I wish I can be in an environment that I can still bring that thing back in me. I'm still having this self-doubt of, can I really work on this? I'm not a phone freak. I don't like pressing phone as such. Is it possible for me to still be in this kind of, I just want you to be factual with me. If it will work, I don't mind going into it, but if it won't, maybe I will have to drop by. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get you. So the answer to your question is quite simple. So number one, 100% it works, right? But nothing is going to work if you're not going to take action and put in the work. And for you to take action, you don't want to be taking random action. You want to be taking directive action. Like I said, what's that code? I think speed is better than direct. I mean, direction is better than speed, right? So that's one thing. So why you might be doubting, I understand where that comes from. It can be either an imposter syndrome or something like that, right? Currently, there's some business decisions I am in my life now about to take that can get me to be spending a whole lot of money in a month. Like I'm talking of serious 7 figures, and I'm not going to lie to you. Even with all my experience, I'm actually having doubts, but due to some experience, I'm just going to like take it. If I lose money, I lose money. If I make money, I make money, right? But what I'm trying to, that doesn't concern me, but what I'm trying to relate that to is the imposter syndrome and you doubting yourself. So you really won't ever know, but if you are like, okay, I can do this and I want to do this, then take it. Because what I can guarantee you is that what I've shown you here, what I've shown you here, what I've shown you guys, what's inside the high paid freelancer premium program, 100% works, right? But you have to take action for it to work. You don't just say you buy a program and you don't go through it and the rest of that and you expect it to work. And not just going through it to learn about Upwork and the rest of that, but go through it, create an Upwork account, send proposals. You might send up to 50, you might send up to 20 and the rest of that. You might get it for some time, but send it and you'll make a whole lot of money from it. So like I said, that's it, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Any other question, guys? Oh, Jasmine. This is your request. I think maybe I can give it to you personally. You contact Habib, but there has to be like a time limit to it, right? So something like within now and the next 3 days, I can give you 20% off. So 20% off, that would be 20% of 35,000 naira.
Just
7K
16
off.
platform. Please make it everyone.
So we can do that. So who is that? I'm supposed to mute. Okay. So guys, no other questions. We have no other questions. I was really expecting a lot of questions.
Good afternoon. Sorry, please, I already sent my question.
Okay, one person at a time. Okay.
I sent my question in the chat box. Where I am is a bit noisy. So that's why I dropped it in the chat box.
I'm not seeing Miriam's question. I can't see it. Was it long ago? Send it again, because these chats were kind of plenty, so I think I missed some. Okay, I think Abu said, what's the time limit for payment? Well, there's not really time limit. It's just that the price will go up, so that's just the main thing. Guys, to be honest, I don't give discounts randomly. I'll be very honest with you, right? Even as we're talking on this call, some people have actually paid, about 2 people. So that was actually what I'm trying to. But okay. This is very, very dicey. All right, so here's what's going to happen. So if you guys pay, this is for everyone listening to on this call. If you're listening to the recording, this does not apply to you because it's recorded, right? If you guys pay, today is what? 20, today is Wednesday, right? So within now and Saturday, I will allow anyone here on this call pay 25,000 naira for it. Literally, that's all you have to pay. 25,000 naira, and you're in. Within now and Saturday, that's the end of the week, right? So within now and Saturday, once Saturday has exceeded, it's gone. So anyone who is listening to the recording of this call, it's not for you. Don't come and start begging for it. I'm not going to give anybody who is not on the call now. All right, so you guys can contact the person who got you guys to this call, and she'll handle it for you guys, okay? Any other question?
I think we are done.
All right, no wahala now.
All right.
So
thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, see you guys inside.
Thank you.